Good afternoon, Ghana. It's 12 o'clock. Time to reach for mobile water. Mobile water, unique in every way.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Citi News.
It's midday. A very good afternoon to you and welcome to the Citi Prime News on 97.3 Citi FM. The news is live from our studios at number 11 Dr. Martin Loop in Adabraka, Accra. It's also live on all affiliates across the country. In the Western region, we are live on Premier FM 100.5, Sky Power FM 93.5 and Beach FM 105.5, all in Takrady. Bono region, we are live on Greener FM 95.9 in Sunyain. Ashanti region, Orange FM 107.9 in Kumasi. I am Hawa Idrisu Mustafa. Coming up, Electoral Commission prepares for tomorrow's rerun of elections in some polling stations in Ablekuma North. Meanwhile, the NPP in the constituency has begun campaign for the election despite national position to boycott the exercise. Also coming up, one person arrested in connection with murder of an immigration officer. Still ahead, over 400 slum dwellers left homeless following a fire outbreak at Baba Ayoyo in the Kumasi metropolis.
This month is soon a meal. Me time after 2 weeks. Na me die ship. Ni baby I met. Yes, I'm yam. Yes, I'm and I'm the.
And later, Sokore Mampo Municipal Assembly uncovers an alleged abortion center with unlicensed drugstore at a slum at Asawase in the Ashanti region.
There is, in fact, an operational pharmacy there. There's also a clinic that is running, and our intel is that they even do illegal abortion. So this is a serious health threat to our youth and our community.
All that and more on Citi Prime News, which is live on our affiliate across the 16 regions of the country. Earlier, I mentioned some to you. Now, if you're in the Volta region, you can listen to us on Holy FM 98.5 in Aplao, Northern region, Dasuma 99.1 in Yendi. Upper East, we are live on Word FM 88.3 in Zwarungu, and Upper West, we are live on Bugli Radio 88.6 in Wada. News is also live around the world on citinewsroom.com.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Grateful for choosing us. Now, Citi News can confirm that the New Patriotic Party in the Ablekuma North constituency has commenced campaign ahead of a parliamentary rerun slated for tomorrow, July 11, to resolve dispute over the authenticity of results from 19 polling stations in the December 2024 elections. This is in sharp contrast to an earlier decision by the party to boycott the exercise, maintaining it had won the disputed election. This development follows the dismissal of an application by the party's candidate, Nana Ikuya-Efriye, who sought to halt the planned rerun. Let's go live to the constituency and speak to my colleague Fauzu Masaudu. Fauzu, thank you for your time. Good afternoon to you. Hello, Fauzu.
Hello.
Hello, Fauzu.
Hello. I can hear you.
Apologies for that. We'll try and connect the lines and speak to my colleague in the Ablekuma North constituency. The news is that the NPP in that particular constituency has begun campaign ahead of tomorrow's election rerun in some 19 polling stations in the Ablekuma North constituency. Let's still stay in that constituency because political analyst Dr. Abdul Jalilu Ateku has expressed concern over the Electoral Commission's silence ahead of the parliamentary rerun in 19 polling stations in the Ablekuma North constituency. Both the NDC and the NPP have indicated that they have not received formal communication from the EC regarding the exercise. In an interview with Citi News, Dr. Atiku suggested that the Commission's earlier silence may have been due to the pending court case, but cautioned that continued lack of communication could be detrimental to public trust and electoral transparency.
There should be a statement coming from the Electoral Commission about how it is conducting the elections in the 19 constituency, because people heard about the fact that there's going to be an injunction, right? So it is important that once the injunction application has been dismissed, then it is important that the EC should make the electorate aware of the election that they are going to conduct on the 11th. So that if they are so silent, I think that it doesn't augur well for transparency and all that. Even though we already know the processes, that every election comes with its own challenges. So it is therefore important that the EC is able to, people to hear something coming from the EC after the dismissal of the MPP's injunction or the MPP candidate's injunction, right? So when people are raising issues, I think these are genuine issues that they are raising, and I'm expecting that the Electoral Commission will make themselves available, let people know.
Dr. Atiku further cautioned the NPP against taking the constituency for granted, warning that relying solely on its status as a stronghold could prove misleading.
We know that has been the stronghold of the NPP, but it appears that the dynamics are changing. Looking at the general election outcome that we saw, and because the number of seats that were full of the NPP have flipped to the NDC. So in that sense, even as so many things have changed, and apart from that, if you look at the goodwill, right, for this particular NDC government and what they have been able to do within these 6 months, right? So certainly, I will not say that completely to just in that it is because it's a stronghold of the NPP, and therefore maybe they are going to win. So now that the election is coming on, I will say that somehow the NDC is ahead because they have been able to to roll out whatever they want to do in order to win the seat. But hey, anything can happen.
So you heard political analyst Dr. Abdul Jalilu Atiku. Let's go live to the constituency and speak to a party executive who has been speaking to my colleague Fauzu Masaudu.
The Electoral Commission has not taken our candidate picture and his name out of the ballot sheet. We are contesting. Our candidate is contesting. Our candidate is on grounds with the party supporters, not that the party supporters, the base of the party, Friends of Ekwefree, is on the ground working. Because Ekwefree name has not been taken out of the ballot paper, then it's my duty to also go around and monitor as our people are saying that they are canvassing and working for Ekwefree to win his seat because Ekwefree has won the election. But because somebody said I'm in power, I will not allow Ekwefree to go to parliament. So they are going to prove to the person that we vote for Ekwefree. Ekwefree was on ground working. But after we took the issue to court yesterday, you all see how biased the court is. You all see it. How can a judge sit on a chair? A judge said everybody should put his phone on silent. Once we were in a court, you, a whole judge, your phone was ringing. After the phone ringing, he just took it and watched it like that and said your case has been dismissed.
So you had the Ablekuma North NPP constituency organizer Abubakar Brahima confirming that the party in the constituency is indeed campaigning ahead of the rerun of elections in some 19 polling stations in the area tomorrow. We'll go live to the constituency when my colleague Fauzu Masaudu, we are able to connect the lines with him and bring you the current situation on the grounds at the Ablekuma North constituency. This is still the City Prime News on 97.3 Citi FM. Let's now take you to the Ashanti region, where more than 400 slum dwellers, mostly women and children, have been displaced following a fire outbreak at Baba Ayoyo, a well-known slum in the Ahojo within the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly. The fire, which broke out around 8:30 p.m. yesterday, destroyed over 100 makeshift structures, leaving many residents stranded and homeless. During a visit by Citi News, school children were seen wandering aimlessly, having lost their uniforms, books and other personal belongings to the fire. Some of the affected women expressed their frustrations and emotional distress, calling on the government, benevolent individuals and organizations to come to their aid.
I have 3 children and I'm currently pregnant with my 4th, due in just 2 weeks. I've lost everything and I don't know where my children and I will sleep tonight or when the baby comes. We have nowhere to go and we are pleading for urgent assistance from the government.
So that was a resident of Baba Ayoyo, a well-known slum at Ahoju in the Kumasi metropolitan area. Now, Assembly member for the Ridge in Shayeso electoral area, Abraham Boidi, has appealed to government agencies, NGOs, and the general public to support the displaced residents, stressing that securing temporary shelter for them remains a major challenge.
We've planned that tomorrow around 4 o'clock, NADMO and National Security will be here. We've told them to come around that time, 4 o'clock, 3, so that we set them down and we do one-on-one assessment to know exact property that we have lost here. There are more than 450 to 500. So we believe, we've talked to them, that they should also arrange themselves. They can call friends and brothers and sisters in other places till tomorrow. After tomorrow meeting with the NADMO, we will see what and the help that the NADMO will bring forward for us to know what we do. But as at now, my biggest problem is what they eat. We're appealing to NADMO. I think they are in charge of all this thing. If they can give them some rice, food items.
Abraham Boidi is Assembly member for the Ridge in Shayeso electoral area in the Ashanti region. Let's now go live to Ablekuma North constituency where my colleague Fauzu Masaoud is standing by. Now, the NPP in the constituency is campaigning despite a national decision to boycott the rerun of some election in 19 polling stations in the area. Fauzu, thank you. And if you can hear me, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon to you, Hawa. I can hear you loud and clear.
Very well. Thank you. So what we understand the NPP is going ahead to campaign despite a national decision to boycott tomorrow's election. Tell us more about that.
Absolutely, Hawa. And we spoke to the party's organizer in the constituency a while ago, and he mentioned that so far as Ekwe-Frie's photo is on the ballot paper, she's still going ahead to contest the election. We also gather from our own sources that the party is already campaigning, particularly within the disputed polling station. A while ago, we saw a number of the party supporters storm the office of the party's constituency candidate for the 2024 election. That's Nana Ekwe-Frie. The organizer actually confirmed in some sort that they are indeed going to participate in tomorrow's election. But the people we are seeing campaigning are people who genuinely and wholeheartedly want Nana Ekwe-Frie to become the party's parliamentary candidate. And so they, as party executives, are not necessarily directly or actively involved in the campaign, but once their party's candidate is on the ballot paper, then they have an interest in the election.
Now, you have been through this particular constituency ahead of tomorrow's election. How is preparations going for these particular 19 areas that the elections are supposed to happen?
So the atmosphere here really does not look like an election of a sort is going to happen here tomorrow. We spoke to a number of voters in some of the selected polling stations, and it looks like some of them were actually not privy or some of them are unaware of the rerun which is scheduled for tomorrow. But a number of them too were aware, and so there's another group within the demographic that are torn between either here nor there. So this has been the general atmosphere for the various political parties. It has now become incumbent upon them to ensure that they intensify awareness, because it is not just enough for the EC to declare a rerun. It is up to them to also consolidate their base. And so, for instance, we know that yesterday the NDC, that's Malik Basintali, the CEO for the Youth Employment Agency, and members or some executives of the NDC hierarchy were here in the constituency to, intensify their campaign. This afternoon, we are also gathering that the CEO for the National Youth Authority will be in the constituency, that's Osman Arega, in the constituency to also intensify campaign for the party ahead of the election. So even though the general sentiment in the constituency has really not been significant, the various political parties are on grounds consolidating their base and then to ensure that tomorrow's rerun emerges in their favor.
Grateful for your time. Fawz Masaud is my colleague here at 97.3 Citi FM. This is still the City Prime News on 97.3 Citi FM. Still to come. Asokore Mampo Municipal Assembly uncovered an alleged abortion center with unlicensed drugstore at a slum at Asawasi in the Ashanti region. We have details of that, plus other stories coming up shortly. Please stay with us.
City Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Are you searching for a world-class conferencing facility to elevate your next event? Do you need a bougie look for that all-important corporate, board meeting, or private social event? The Alisa Pavilion has an unmatched capacity. Our expansive conference center comfortably seats 1,000 persons in a theater-style setup. This makes it ideal for large conferences, product launches, weddings, social events, and exhibitions. There are 2 executive boardrooms set up for your high-profile meetings. With the importance of seamless technology integration, our facilities are equipped to support your audiovisual needs. Looking for an oasis of bliss? Saunter into our Oasis Lounge and Bistro on Thursdays for Thirsty Thursday, while you enjoy a whopping 15% discount. Make a date for Saturday Barbecue, where we have alfresco dining for nature lovers in our lush manicured lawns, while you savor lip-smacking dishes. The Alisa Hotel Pavilion, where great minds convene and beautiful memories are created. Alisa Hotels, our Aquaba means more than just welcome.
City Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Yeah, welcome back. The Asokore Mampo Municipal Security Council has uncovered an illegal abortion clinic and an unlicensed drugstore operating within a slum at Asawasi in the Ashanti region. The discovery was made on Wednesday, July 9, during a special operation led by the MCE as part of broader effort to curb drug abuse and related criminal activities within the municipality. MCE for the area, Ben Abdallah Al-Hassan, described the development as alarming and stressed the urgent need for stricter enforcement and intensified community sensitization.
The search that was conducted over there brought out a few illicit treats ongoing over there. There is, in fact, an operational pharmacy there, an illegal one, of course. There is also a clinic that is running, and our intel is that they even do illegal abortions. So this is a serious health threat to our youth and our community. And so we have seized some of the drugs for further examination. In addition to endangering the environment by way of very poor sanitation, they are also using a lot of illicit drugs, and armed robbery activities are also very rife over there. And so as MUSEC, we are going to sit down, assess the situation, and come up with very concrete measures to curtail the situation for good.
Ben Abdallah Al-Hassan is Municipal Chief Executive for Asokore Mampo in the Ashanti region. A mobile money vendor has been shot and killed by suspected robbers at Cortes Junction, a suburb of English Amanfro in the Gas South municipality of the Greater Accra region. The victim, 21-year-old Desmond Aja, was returning home from his shop around 7 p.m. yesterday when he was attacked and shot multiple times. He died while receiving treatment at the English Amanfro Polyclinic. An eyewitness recounted the incident to Citi News.
In fact, he's a customer to all of us at the junction there. So everybody is closer to him. So as at 20 past 7, I came out from my room and I met him and I said, oh, Desmond, I will need an amount of 150 cedis. You know, he said, oh, he's short of cash. Then I rushed to my office to pick cash. On my return, I heard a gunshot. And then there's one woman rushing. Then the children told her that she should stay back because there's a gunshot. I was in a room and they came and told me that it was my brother Desmond that they were shooting.
That was an eyewitness to the shooting incident at Cortes Junction, a suburb of English Amanfro. Now, relatives of the deceased are calling on the police to carry out swift investigations and bring the perpetrators to justice.
And the people who did that, they are among his friends. I'm not kind of friends. So he's come to the family house for help. So
when my aunties heard the shots, they couldn't come out to help him. If you've taken the bag containing the cash, why kill him as well? Probably because he had seen the faces of the criminals and would be able to identify them to the police. I'm urging the police to investigate this situation.
Investigate very well because
that was a relative to deceased 21-year-old Desmond Aja, who was shot by robbers at Cortes Junction here in Accra. Now, the Greater Accra Regional Police Command has arrested one person in connection with the murder of an immigration officer whose charred body was found in a gutter near the GBC satellite area opposite Comet Estate in Accra. The victim, Stephen Ken Amoa, had been missing since last Friday. Police say he left his home at Ashoman Estate around 8 p.m. on Thursday after receiving WhatsApp images of large sums of cash from a man identified as Bright Awe, who allegedly invited him to a local spot to settle a debt. On Wednesday, police discovered a severely burned body at the location following the family's missing person report. Despite the extent of the burns, the family later identified the body at the police hospital morgue. Investigations led to the arrest of Bright Awe, who told the police he had given the deceased 500,000 cedis to pay off some debts and keep the rest. However, his account of the money source and the event that followed was inconsistent. Away from that, the Association of Private Healthcare Facilities is raising concerns over delays in payment from the National Health Insurance Scheme. Contrary to reports suggesting that all arrears have been cleared, the association says it is still owed several months of payment. In an interview with Citi News, Vice President of the association, Samuel Donko Boachi, clarified that claims of full settlement are inaccurate, stating that payments have only been made up to March, an amount he says is insufficient to sustain their services.
We just received, I think last Friday, we went to Kumasi, the deputy CEO was there, we made an appeal, and that same evening we had some money which covered some of us, our January, February and March. And as I speak to you now, the person who has received money, I would say up to, the maximum is up to March. Nobody has received April. We don't know. Nobody has received April. So we have, and we still have some of us arrears in January, February unpaid. And that's what we call skipped payment of NHIA. They sometimes skip the month and pay another month. So we have these arrears in that we have made them aware that we are compiling to them. But the maximum payment we have received now today, as I speak to you now, is up to March 2025. Nobody has received April. That amount is peanut. I would say peanut because listen.
The association further expressed frustration that despite the outstanding arrears, high taxes and utility tariffs continue to place a heavy burden on their operations, undermining their ability to deliver quality healthcare to Ghanaians.
It's not. We've told them and they are aware. And all of us in this country are aware that the tariff we use is not good for us. Because the government is always increasing taxes, light bill, water bill. Government is always increasing, even we, a health facility tax that we pay. Apart from government taking the 7.5 with the wooden tax, ZRA will come with a huge tax that you have to pay. Drugs are very expensive now on the market, even though the dollar is down. The drugs are just up. And we don't understand why that is happening. Today, tomorrow, and we are running at a loss. And government too is increasing these bills, light bill, water bill, and taxes. So we are suffering. And when you take a coin to support your business, anytime I will come after you and tell you it's co-payment, so don't take the money. In fact, we are suffering. We are dying. Our business are collapsing. And so when they pay us that 1 month, one month peanut, they didn't go around telling people they paid us, they paid us. They stop that.
Vice President of the Association of Private Healthcare Facilities, Samuel Donko Boachi. Residents of Shiaga in the Talensi district are calling for an immediate suspension of operations by Cardinal Namdini Mining Company, accusing the firm of poor mining practices and failing to honor resettlement commitment. The resident alleged that promises made regarding housing and compensation have not been fulfilled. Speaking at a press conference, the community spokesperson Tua Gilbert Landola urged neighboring communities to join the call for a suspension of the company's activities until there is genuine engagement with affected residents and a commitment to responsible mining practices.
We sacrifice our small-scale mining piece. All related businesses at Digar, Accra sites and Bing mining sites, lands, farms, socio-economic freedoms, livelihoods, and property for the development of Cardinal Namdini. The company has not fulfilled any of their promises they made to us at the initial stages. Complaints from the community indicates that one official has allegedly and sexually harassed a lot of ladies working with them. We will advise ourselves by 15 July 2025 if the managing director or CEO of Cardinal Namdini, Shandong Gold Mines, failed to show up before us in initiating planning. To demonstrate our seriousness, all prospecting activities of Cardinal Namdini Mining Limited, Shandong, Atola, and Yamrga are hereby suspended.
Tua Gilbert Landola is the spokesperson for residents of Shiaga in the Talensi district of the Upper East region. President John Dramani Mahama is courting partnership from the Portuguese government to set up a national airline. President Mahama, speaking during the presentation of credentials by the new Portuguese ambassador to Ghana, Maria de Conceição de Sousa Pila, expressed commitment on the part of his government to continue doing business with the European country. 5 countries, Portugal, Seychelles, Venezuela, Chad and Gabon, presented their letters of credence to the president a while ago. Let's hear President Mahama during the presentation.
Till today, the most famous tourist landmark in Ghana is the Elmina Castle, which was built by the Portuguese several centuries ago. And so our ties are historical. We also appreciate the fact that the Portuguese National Airline flies directly to Accra, and so that improves people-to-people relationship. I've flown it before. When I was going to Brazil, I went through Lisbon with TAP, and then with TAP to Sao Paulo. And so I have experienced your national airline before. Ghana itself is trying to re-establish our national airline, and at the appropriate time, we'll be looking for partners, and maybe if Portuguese, your national airline is interested, we could do a partnership. But we want to expand economic relations with Portugal, and we believe that we can attract more investors to come and invest in Ghana. Ghana has a lot of natural resources, a lot of land, a lot of water. So for agriculture, for agribusiness, for mining, oil and gas, I mean, there's so many opportunities that we have here with a market size of almost 35 million people. And then also with the African Continental Free Trade Area, it's possible to reach a market size of 1.3 billion people in Africa. And so we believe that forging stronger economic ties and inviting more Portuguese business people to come and do business in Ghana would be a win-win, both in terms of investment and also in terms of creating employment opportunities for our young people.
You heard President John Dramani Mahama. The National Labour Commission has urged the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission to intensify its engagement with the Ghana Association of University Administrators to resolve their grievances. The association is protesting GTEC's decision to suspend the payment of office-holding allowances to members occupying management and leadership roles within the universities. According to the General Secretary for the Union, Augustine Anisari, he stated that the association remains hopeful that GTEC will fully address their concerns by the end of month.
The NLC urged all parties to continue to engage because for most of the demand, it's a process that according to NLC, once the GTEC has shown commitment in trying to address the issues, we should continue to engage until we get all of the issues sorted out and make us. We are looking at close of months where we'll get most of it sorted out as great. Some of them, there were no timelines really, but we want to believe in the process that once we have started, we surely will get there. So we are working with them, get everything sorted out.
That was the General Secretary of the Ghana Association of University Administrators, Augustine Anisari. Now, international relations expert Dr. Yao Gebe has described the new U.S. visa policy, which limits the duration and number of entries allowed under most non-immigrant visa categories as concerning. The policy affects Ghanaian applicants, including those applying for B- class visas, which are now restricted to single entry visas valid for only 3 months. Speaking to Citi News, Dr. Yao Gebe urged the government to engage with the U.S. Embassy to seek a revision of the policy and mitigate its potentially severe consequences. And that's it for today's edition of the Citi Prime News, which has been live from our studios in Adabraka in Accra. Please log on to citinewsroom.com for more stories. My name is Hawaii Tracy Mustafa. Thank you for your company.
Citi News, we speak first. Reach our hotline on 0302 224959 and get interactive on Facebook, Citi 97.3 FM,